With our current weather conditions, it takes a real expert to create landscape that'll thrive. Riedel's Garden Center has the staff with the expertise who know all about the requirements for plants, lawns, and landscapes that'll stand up to our changing weather conditions. With 25 years of hands-on experience, owner Darren Riedel will customize a landscape design and irrigation system to meet your expectations and our climate. It is recommended to protect your lawn using Fertilome products, available at Riedel's Garden Center, an authorized dealer. Call or stop by Riedel's Garden Center today.
Thank you for joining us today for Green and Growing. I'm Dr. Laura Wilson, and today I'm going to be talking about watering trees. All of the information that I'm going to be presenting can be found in association with Ellis County Master Gardeners, so check out their Facebook page or their website for more information. So watering trees sounds pretty basic, but there is a bit of an art to it, and it's a fine line between making sure your newly planted or established trees don't die during really dry spells, but also not overwatering them so they get so much canopy or so much root growth that they really can't sustain themselves under normal weather conditions. So as soon as you plant a tree, and this one's obviously a bit more established, but as soon as you plant a tree, you want to make sure that it gets enough water. And so the first couple of months that you put a tree in the ground, most of the roots are going to be contained within that root ball, pretty much that's coming out of the pot or the netting that the tree comes in. And so they're really going to be centralized around the trunk. But as that tree grows over months and years, those roots are going to spread out. So it's really important to remember that when we're watering trees, we're not just watering right next to the trunk, but that we want to extend to the canopy and then as the trees are established beyond. You'll see a lot of people watering their trees with just airborne sprinklers. This isn't great. We lose about half of that water to evaporation, so you're really not getting water penetrating deep within the ground, which is what we need to make sure that trees are watered well. Ideally, you want to water to a depth of about 8 to 10 inches underground. A good trick for figuring out if you need to water or not to test the ground is actually just using a typical screwdriver. So get maybe an 8-inch screwdriver and you can put this in the ground, and if it's kind of like testing a cake. If it goes in easily, that ground is wet. So we just got 2.5 inches of rain, I don't need to water. If it's really hard to get that screwdriver in and out of the ground, then the ground is dry and it's a good time to think about watering. So again, when we water, we want to make sure we're not just getting around the trunk of the tree, but really getting the canopy area as well. And there are a couple of different ways to do this. So you can get a soaker hose or a drip line, and you're going to want to coil it around the tree out to the edge of the canopy or beyond. And then you're just going to give it a slow soak over a couple of hours so that water can get 8 to 10 inches down into the ground. A lot of people use bubbler hoses as well, so it's an attachment that you can get to the end of your hose that slows the water coming out so you're not just losing it all to runoff. Something like that you are going to need to move every little while to make sure that you're getting all around the tree and the roots. So one of the things that I've switched to within the past couple of years is actually using these water bags. And so these are really easy. They just fit around the tree and then they zip up. And they have openings at the top, and you can just put your hose right in here and fill up the bag, and it'll hold a couple of gallons. And then just through the day or through the night, so typically we should be watering when it's not too hot, so during the night, the water is just going to drip out and be able to penetrate into the ground. So this is a good one that we've been using on our saplings because it's getting right next to the trunk. So the next thing that I'm going to need to get is actually an extender skirt on it to get further out under the canopy and be able to reach those roots that have been able to spread. So again, it's important to test the ground before you water to make sure you need water, and then think about the fact that we really need kind of that slow drip to really penetrate down. So a lot of easy tools that we can use, but we want to make sure that we're walking that line between overwatering and underwatering. We want to save our trees, but we also want to make sure that we're conserving water. So again, if you need any more information, want to revisit some of this, just check out the Ellis County Master Gardeners on Facebook or their website.
With our current weather conditions, it takes a real expert to create landscape that'll thrive. Riedel's Garden Center has the staff with the expertise who know all about the requirements for plants, lawns, and landscapes that'll stand up to our changing weather conditions. With 25 years of hands-on experience, owner Darren Riedel will customize a landscape design and irrigation system to meet your expectations and our climate. It is recommended to protect your lawn using Fertilome products, available at Riedel's Garden Center, an authorized dealer. Call or stop by Riedel's Garden Center today.